Having a lunch of pizza and tater tots and a sugary drink it's not good for them. Like, we shouldn't be feeding our kids this. There's a real need for kids to learn about food because we're seeing such increased rates of childhood obesity. We're seeing increased rates of diabetes. You're seeing kids in neighborhoods that don't have access to these kinds of foods. So when you have these like urban farms popping up, especially in a city like New York City, where you can find a child who has never experienced that kind of food, that only lives on McDonald's or fast food, to take that kid and introduce them to something fresh, something organic, something from the earth, something that's good for them, is completely necessary. It's Battery Park Urban Farm, and most people don't even know that it's there. When you walk by Battery Park, people are kind of looking in like, what is that? It kind of looks like a community garden. And what I really loved about this farm in the middle of Manhattan was that it's primarily an educational farm. So its focus is really inspiring the next generation of children. To see kids who never knew that a carrot was grown in the ground, and pick that carrot out of the ground and see it, and they were so excited. It was so inspiring to see that. As time goes on, the more we're working, the less we are attached to food, the less we're cooking, the more we're reaching out for convenience foods, that you lose that touch, that grasp of food coming from the ground. I think the local farming movement is really needed, especially with like the industrialization of our food industry and kind of the lack of fresh produce.
Locally grown foods teaches people to know what's in season. You can only have here what grows in that season, so people get to learn what grows what grows even in their climate zone. And then two, what seasons they grow in. And so therefore, if you're eating seasonally and you're eating locally, you're eating the freshest food possible. Of our root crops, turnips, different kind of Asian winter radishes. These are mu, it's Korean radish. And this is our Bordeaux, which is a purple radish in the same family as the mu. We have beets, sweet potatoes, many different sweet potatoes. White sweet potatoes, orange sweet potatoes, Japanese sweet potatoes, and then winter squash.
I've got a pumpkin here that's called the fairy tale pumpkin, and a lot of people, they like to take this home and they bake it, they broil it, they make soup with it. Everything I bring was picked within 48 hours, most of it within the last 24. And we enjoy coming down, seeing the people, doing it, and giving you something good to eat.
It wasn't just about, giving food to local restaurants. It wasn't just about food production. It was about community. It was about building an environment of knowledge.
People here get fresh food, and then the people here to support the local farmers, so it we support each other in that way.
I do have people buy a whole pumpkin. They like so much of it, they got a big family, they gobble it up. When you come here and shop, you're getting it right off the farm. Don't get it any fresher.